Yes, we are live. Yeah. Who could have beat them? Who could beat the 96 Bulls? The 1990 Bulls, any of the Bulls, all that bull it. We want to know who could have stopped them. Was there ever a team? We will open up the stream lab for the Casino for Life podcast fans, everybody out there in the world. StreamYard, yes, this is StreamYard. I've heard the 99 Spurs. I've heard the 2011 Mavs, which was basically another Chicago Bulls of the 99, I'll say the 98 era, where a bunch of veterans got together on the team.
Cino, what's up, man? How's everything?
Everything's going good. So
right.
I don't know how much you know about the 1990 Bulls, but you should know a lot about them because they talk about them every day, even now when they getting ready for this last dance.
I know everything. I know.
Movie.
The only thing I know like about the the 90s Bulls, all I know is besides that is Dennis Rodman basically saved Michael Jordan in the last three runs.
The link was already sent. What if somebody said send the link? I was like, I already sent the link. But you came around like during the Derrick Rose era, like
I came around. I came around when Kobe got drafted in '96, right? So I came around the year that Jay-Z dropped Hard Knock Life, Lauryn Hill.
Okay, yeah, you came around in that 98 era.
Yeah. So like, Kobe and then LeBron entered. But the answer to the question, I'm gonna say in my opinion, and a lot of people in this chat gonna be like, what the hell I'm talking about? I'm gonna say the 2001 LA Lakers.
The 2001 LA Lakers. A team that had Shaquille O'Neal on it. That was the topic, I think, today. Everybody was screaming and yelling about that because Shaq said that they would have beaten the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, they would have went to like a game 7. Game 6, game 7.
Game 6, game 7. That's quite interesting to me because when Shaq was there with Kobe and they played, they couldn't beat the Bulls. They were getting beat by 20 with Shaq. So that's why I didn't understand Shaq's statement because Shaq was there. He was on the Lakers and he was getting beat. He was getting beat when he was in Orlando. They made him leave Orlando.
But see, Orlando didn't have enough weapons though.
What you mean? They had Dennis Scott. They had the best record in the league. They just came from the NBA Finals.
Dennis Scott is all right.
And they got swept. They had 3D. They had the best team. They had Penny Hardaway, Shaq. They had the best team, and they got beat. They got swept. They didn't win one game. They had Horace Grant. They had the big four. They had Horace Grant. They had Dennis Scott, Penny, and Shaq, and they got ran out of the gym.
And Nick Anderson. Don't forget about Nick Anderson.
Right, and Nick at Night. Yeah. You had Nick at Night.
Yo, Cino, what's up, bro?
What's good?
What's up, fellas? How y'all be, man?
Man, great. Hey, Cino, I got it, man. 2011 Dallas Mavericks.
I hear that.
LeBron James Miami Heat super team.
Hell no.
Swept the Lakers.
Question.
Wait, hold on.
Man said
Hell
that.
no.
Yo,
Don't cut me off when I'm
question.
talking, bro. Don't cut me off when I'm talking, bro.
Question.
I'm saying we swept the Lakers. Swept the Lakers that year. Defending champions Kobe Bryant, Ron Artest, Lamar Odom, the whole gang. Swept the Lakers, beat Kevin Durant and the Thunder. You know what I'm saying? And then I think we beat Memphis too. So that had to be one of the greatest runs in NBA history, I think. One of the underrated teams with Karan Butler, Dirk Nowitzki, Tyson Chandler, Defensive Player of the Year. We had Jason Terry, Sixth Man of the Year. Sean Marion, great defender, former All-Star. You know, Peja Stojakovic off the bench. You know, he was a shooter, man. So I like Dallas. I think that's a team that's underrated in the mix.
Well, here's the thing about Dallas. Dallas had a magical run in the playoffs. They weren't a team that was all year dominating everybody or beating everybody. They like crept up because you saw what happened to them the very next year. They got popped off by a weed smoking Golden State team with Captain Jack and all them potheads over there. They got together and beat them. I'm like, why the heck do you lose to these bag of misfits? But Dallas did. The thing about it, if they had to play a series and you had them at that point in their career, which 90s team would you put them up against in the Bulls? The 98 team, like when they were a little older? I would say the 98 team, they would probably have a better chance at. Because Pippen, the wheels are falling off on Scottie Pippen. He was done by that time. So I would say Scottie Pippen, that year, the 98, that was probably when they was at their most vulnerable to be beaten. So at the end of that last three-peat, when Jordan hit that shot in Utah, that was probably the time they could have got him. The Dallas team is kind of like a mirroring team. It's like a bunch of misfit guys who had their shots and did never what happened for them. They never won. Like Jason Kidd been to 2 NBA finals and couldn't beat the Lakers or Spurs. You know, Terry had the first run with the finals in Dallas and they didn't get it done. He bounced around the league, came back, and they had that magical run where they wanted to make up for what happened like 10 years ago when they lost to the same team before. So it'd have been a good matchup, but I don't think the style of play, the way the game is, I don't think they would have had a shot against the Bulls. There's no one out there that would have been able to check Mike. Mike wouldn't have let it happen. The Michael Jordan factor is too great because you can have all the people that should be doing this, and this. Michael Jordan shows up and changes the whole dynamic of the game because you got to find somebody that can contain him first. Because if the game ain't going right and 9 times out of 10 the triangle ain't working, then it's the Michael Jordan going to be working.
Okay.
And then you got to stop him.
Okay.
Hey, Cino. Do people realize that when the Bulls was playing all these teams, do they realize that they was putting Pippen and Jordan at the point and shooting guard? They was guarding all of the point guards that was slowing all the teams down. Like people don't realize, people don't realize that they was putting Pippen at point guard and Jordan at shooting guard, and whoever your point guard was getting guarded by a 6'7" Ron Harper or Scottie Pippen or Jordan. That was slowing down everybody else's offense. So if you was playing like the Indiana Pacers, you would have to Mark Jackson would have to be guarded by Pippen. Or if you play somebody like the Miami Heat, like dude was saying, like you play like Miami Heat, they will be guarding not LeBron, but what's the Heat? Damian Jones?
Wade. Dwayne Wade.
Nah, D Wade wasn't playing a point. Then he was playing like a shooting
Jason
guard.
Williams. Jason Williams was playing point.
No, on that team, Mario Chalmers.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like it was a fair matchup because the Bulls had 3 guards that could play point guard, and they were all 6'7", and that was slowing. I used to love the Bulls back in the day, so I used to watch them hard, and it was slowing down everybody's offense. It wasn't even really about sometimes Jordan. A lot of times they were just shutting the offense down because the point guard couldn't bring them off the court and shut the offense up because it was getting pressed by Pippen, who was an all defensive team. Freaking dude, like he was like him and Jordan, they were shut. And Ron Harper, they were shutting the point guard down. Literally, they couldn't set their offense up. Yeah. Like it was like by the time they get over half court line, they had like 10 seconds to run their offense.
Well, I just want to say, about that, the Dallas Mavericks, like Kobe Bryant, we all know Kobe Bryant was the closest thing to Michael Jordan. my Dallas Mavericks in 2011 swept Kobe Bryant. Swept Kobe. You know what I mean? With Sean Marion, Jason Kidd was a great perimeter defender. You know what I mean? Phil Jackson, the same coach as those Chicago Bulls. You know, we swept them, beat LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, the resume, Kevin Durant, MVPs, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. We beat all of those guys. You know, I think we would have gave the Bulls a very tough matchup.
I mean, you would have been a great matchup. It'd have been a great matchup, but you got to look at it. They beat a Lakers team that was going through it. You know, you got two teammates, somebody messing with another guy's wife. Yeah. It was a lot of fighting going on there, and a lot of people weren't happy. Yeah. You know, they had a trade that didn't go down, that was supposed to go down, and things just went haywire after that. So,
and Carcino, as well as going to 3 straight NBA finals as well. You know what I'm saying? Along the way. You know, it's fatigue.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, and here's a team that just came out of nowhere, you know, and they just gelled at the right time. They got hot right at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that was good for them.
Yeah.
Somebody just fell out. That was E, I think. E just fell out. E, you still here? Okay, no, E's still here.
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm still
okay,
here.
So real quick, are we talking about like a particular Chicago Bulls championship team? Or are we talking about them as a whole? Them as, you know.
Any 90s team, what team you think would have beat any of the 90s team? Anyone you could pick, the first 3P, second 3P, any one of those teams that had Jordan?
I mean, let me go first. I want to go first on that. I mean, of course, I think the 86 Celtics give any of those teams a run for their money.
The 86 Celtics, okay.
Yeah.
The 86 Celtics, that'd have been interesting. But for which Bulls team?
I would probably say 92, 93.
The 92?
That is.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Michael Jordan don't even pick the 96 Bulls team. Michael Jordan don't pick them as his best team. He picks the 92 Bulls team better than the 96. He picked that team as the best Bulls team.
Yeah.
He said the 1992 Chicago Bulls team, the ones that could have won like 70-some games, and they just came short.
Yeah.
He's like, that team was the 92. He felt like that was the best team he played on. Yeah. Even though the 96 team won the game and did that, he's like, the 92 team, he felt like that team was unbeatable.
Yeah.
So that's Michael Jordan's pick.
Hey, do you feel?
Yo, go ahead, King Jeffrey.
It's popping. Yo, you need to do a review, a stream live after that preview. On the Last Dance on Sunday. You had to do a stream, y'all, man. I got you on the Cash App, dogs. I got you on the Cash App. Gotta do a stream yard.
We're gonna all be here again. We'll watch that. But most of it, I don't think show me something I haven't seen. You know, show me something.
Let everybody know LeBron be like scratch his head like, damn, Jordan is right. He's the best player. I can't do shit.
Yeah, this series ain't gonna prove it. Because we already know.
Yeah, it's been proven.
I know that,
we already know.
All they finna do is try to make Jordan look like a bully.
I know that, right? LeBron's scared like, damn, man, I can't do this. I need help. I need superstars.
Right. I mean,
yo.
Hey, S Young.
Yeah, I got two.
Oh, you got two teams that could beat that 90s?
05 Spurs.
The 05 Spurs.
Okay.
The 05 Spurs.
I don't remember that roster.
Who's born? Madam Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker.
Big Shot Bob.
Big Shot Bob.
They would have lost. In 05, they would have lost.
David Robinson
official though, bro.
Oh no, Bruce Bowen got Jordan unlocked. Bruce Bowen.
Yo, man, Jordan was scored Bruce Bowen, bro. Stop it.
I'm just joking.
I'm about to say, you funny as heck for that.
Yo, how about the 2014 Spurs? Who beat the shit out of Miami that year? I was enjoying that year. I was loving it, man.
Yeah.
I cannot. I told you I couldn't even sit down.
2014 to me was better than 2005. the 2014 team was better to me than 2005.
I agree.
2005, maybe it was the matchup. They were done. They had no business winning that series against.
They bench was a starting five. The Heat couldn't do nothing. LeBron was sucking in the first minute of the first quarter. I'm like, damn, I can't do this. I'm ready to pack my bags already. I'm ready to go back to Cleveland.
Exactly.
Like, he was ready to leave.
Yeah.
Hey, why does the media like Shannon Sharp and them always sweep that Dallas Mavericks series under the mat? Like, yo, for real, that series. That's why I say LeBron would never ever be the GOAT to me. Because Jason Terry and JJ Barea was scorching LeBron. Like, and they never talk about that. I don't understand why Shannon never says anything about that, but he always talk about
because
LeBron.
It makes LeBron look bad. That don't help his case. He like a politician that's running. That's making him look bad. He can't.
Yo, here's a good one. How about Jason Terry? He put on blast. LeBron can't guard me.
And that's why. And
I mean, the man got a trophy tattooed on his arm. He had a championship trophy tattoo. He had to deliver. He'll look real silly up in the club.
They were supposed to win that series, though, man.
Yeah, and also Miami in that series got shut. I seen the defensive settings that the Dallas Mavericks had played. They was getting shut down by its own defense. I saw them playing 2-3, 3-2, 1-3, 1-3-1 zones. They was getting shut down. You know.
Yeah, it was the different looks too. It was the different looks that they gave LeBron. You know, and he didn't know what to do. He's a street baller. Exactly. He's seeing that. He's looking like, what's going on out here? Why am I in this position again? Why am I out? Then you know he gets scared to shoot. And if they put him in the box where he don't feel comfortable taking the shot, they know he gonna pass.
Right.
So he was just turning over the ball at one point, man. They was ready.
He can't get no foul calls. If he can't get no foul calls, he's done. Like if he gets to the hole, he can't get a foul call. LeBron start passing.
And that's exactly what I was gonna. That's exactly what I was gonna get into. You know what I'm saying? Zone defense is meant to make you shoot the ball. You know, LeBron can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? He can't penetrate the ball. He really couldn't do nothing.
Yeah,
I got the Pistons. I think the Pistons took them. 89 Pistons, the original bad boys. The original bad boys. Yeah, the original.
Well, we all know that. We all know that is fact.
Yeah, Jordan Rule. The Jordan Rule.
We were the last ones to beat them anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, they're my top 5. I don't care what nobody say, yo.
That's a no-brainer.
The Jordan Rule, man. The Jordan Rule.
Yo, personally, me as a Knicks fan, that 99 team was so special, man. It was like, oh man.
Nah, not the 99 Knicks. Nah, not the 99 Knicks.
The 8th seed went to the finals.
Not the 99 Knicks.
No, they was official, bro. Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell was official.
They would have got
you.
You don't think so?
That 99 team, the team that should have beaten the Bulls was the 1993 Knicks. That's the team right there.
Yeah, what happened that season? What happened that series? They was up 2-0.
Yeah, game one. Patrick was killing them. Game one.
Xavier
McDaniel was 93.
That was
when
93.
They were up
Patrick was giving them buckets.
The Starks did the left hand jam, everything dunked on both of them. That was the 93. They had 1 and 2. Chicago, but I'm telling you, Bulls fans thought it was over. As the Starks did that left hand jam, they said it was over. Bulls fans like, well, at least we got 2 of them. That was all they was telling me because me and my cousin was the only one outside in the street celebrating. He ain't
I remember that year. I remember that year when Starks did that dunk. I was in Brooklyn like, I can't believe it. So I'm like,
Starks did that dunk. I was outside immediately. I knew my cousin was coming down the street. I didn't have to hear him. I knew he was gonna run out the house at the same time.
And you know what? And you know the crazy thing, Jordan was in that pitch. He was under the rim. I see
not this
you had to not let that go, bro.
Not this conversation.
He did not.
Oh
man, I know y'all conversation.
They still had that post.
Yo, you like Shannon Sharp, bro. Y'all is not gonna let that dunk go, bro.
They still gonna talk about this stuff. Like, yeah, man, he don't Jordan
talking about the John Starks dunk. Man. He did not dunk on Jordan.
No, he did not. Horace Grant saved Jordan.
That's
bro.
what
Horace
you
Grant
gotta
saved
hold
Jordan.
on to, man. But the thing is I agree with Oakley when Oakley been going off with about Patrick Ewing. I was just said that in the video. Pat ain't no leader. Pat is not that kind of leader. He's a leader by example. They would have won had they made that trade for Shaq. Patrick Ewing for Shaq. Orlando was like, we got to get rid of him. This guy wants out. And they had opportunity. Don Nelson like, look, we got a chance to get Shaq. He's young. Pat is old, man.
Didn't know that.
Get him out of here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro, you're a New York Knicks fan, bro. Y'all mess up anything good.
Knicks make dumb
Knicks
trades,
mess
bro.
up anything good, bro. You know that.
Knicks always made it's been like this since the 90s, man.
Yo, Knicks mess up any good thing. I don't know why
mess up anything since the 90s. Come on now.
Yeah, Dolan went and contacted Pat, right? He talked to Pat Ewing, found out.
Yo, it's the Knicks, bro.
That's why Don Nelson got fired. They fired Don Nelson for trying to trade. He tried to trade Patrick Ewing for Shaq.
And yo, didn't Don Nelson coach the Mavericks too?
Huh?
Didn't he coach the Mavericks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Don Nelson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Well, not when they won it.
Oh, okay.
Not when they won it. That was Carlisle. Rick Carlisle was there. Carlisle's still there. But yeah, Carlisle's still there. But the thing is that they would have had Shaq. He would have been a New York Knick. And the Lakers, they beat the Lakers. They had the first choice of a trade for Patrick Ewing and a couple of players for Shaq. And they could have made the deal. And Don Nelson was already first in line because he had people down there in Orlando. And they was like, this ain't looking good. It ain't going to get done. Y'all, we might be looking at a trade situation. And sure enough, they would have had it before because he left in a free agency.
But why ain't get done in Orlando?
You said why it didn't get done in Orlando?
Why Orlando say it's not gonna get done? Like who? Why it wasn't getting done? Like,
why wasn't it winning? Because Patrick Ewing went and talked to Dolan, James Dolan, and Pat wasn't going nowhere. Pat was like, "Oh, he trying to trade me." He went to Dolan. He said, "Man, fire him. He trying to get me traded." Fire him. Don Nelson got fired. He was there one year.
LeBron move.
Yeah,
basically.
Dolan said, you know, to him, Dolan is like, I gotta be loyal to my guy. Patrick Ewing is what we know. He's in New York. Yeah, hate me in New York.
Okay.
I got rid of him for Shaq, so I gotta do this, Don. Even though Shaq would be great here, I gotta let it go. Now, this is before he became a free agent and went over to the Lakers the next year. He'd have been traded and playing for the Knicks.
Hey, plus, you know how many championships I would have went to the parade, man? It'll be that
0.
shootouts in Brooklyn, man. Pop in the air, we match shootouts up in the air, celebrating, yo. Give me like this. If the Knicks win a championship, that would be the biggest parade. I think that would be the biggest the Knicks win.
Y'all win in baseball every year, though, bro. Like, y'all win in baseball almost every year. Yo, what you talking about?
Oh, they
Yankees win.
And the Yankees ain't win. They mad.
They win like every 5 years, though. They used to win it. And Giants, they always win. Like Giants won like what 2011 and 07. Y'all used to like winning like parades and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the Knicks got to get one. That's all.
The Knicks ain't getting one, bro.
No, y'all not getting one. Y'all never gonna get one.
Listen, man. As long as James Dolan is the owner and will not resign, they will not win.
Golden
State though. Trying to force my man out, Dolan.
Yeah, Cino, I support you and everything. But you cannot talk bad about my Yankees, man. I don't like that, man.
Come on, now we all know your Yankees. You know your Yankees a bunch of steroids.
Bernie Williams, baby, Bernie Williams.
Oh no, the steroids, man. They can't win because of steroids. Come on.
Yo, your man going in on the Yankees, Joe. That's funny.
Come on now. You know your team can't do it without the steroids. Come on, the Yankees.
Oh man,
come on.
Hey, Bernie Williams didn't take no juice.
A-Rod did. A-Rod did. A-Rod did.
A-Rod got J-Lo.
A-Rod J-Lo.
Yankee fans don't like A-Rod. Yankee fans don't like him.
Yo, we never liked A-Rod when he first came to the Yankees.
For real? That's crazy.
The Yankees would have won that championship. We was up 3-0.
Yeah.
3-0. Bottom of the ninth. Yo, it was 3-2. I remember the score. When I saw that formal, like, something ain't right. Find out, boom, we lost.
The steroids kicked in.
Whatever. Game 5, the same exact shit. Game 6, what's E-Rush?
Go ahead with that, boy.
Man, I swear, Yankee fans ain't never
And the
Hey,
steroids
yo, what's
kicked
up
in.
with
I told
Brooklyn,
you.
though?
that was the worst collapse in sports history. They were up 3 games to 0 and let the Boston ain't won in like 90 years.
I remember, Cena, I remember, when I was catching the train, going to work in Manhattan, New York was like a ghost town. The whole newspaper, it was no news. It was just Yankee news that whole time. It was like, it was like a ghost. Everybody's head was down. I was hurt. I don't want to know. Yeah,
you know how devastating that is to lose 4 straight games. It never happened in sports history. Never happened in sports history.
A Boston hat, I'm tight.
Nah, bro, the Boston Red Sox gave you that business.
He's like, I'm tight.
David Ortiz giving y'all that business.
I know. But honestly, I would have told you I gotta get sweet.
David Ortiz gave y'all that business. It was over.
Honestly, the Yankees should have got swept. But lose like that, think about it. 86 years, we was clapping and beating the shit out of them, but something was bound to happen, but not like that, dog.
I had to go get the bean.
I can't fuck with you, man.
He got the hat.
I had to do it to him.
I can't fuck with you, Cena, man. I support you in everything.
Hey, bro, I got 2 words. David Ortiz. That's it.
Oh, yeah, we got to get that Boston Cubs World Series, baby. Boston versus Cubs World Series.
But I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta think about it. That 014 Yankees and Red Sox, there was evenly matched. There was match.
Yeah.
There was match. It just David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez. Oh my God, it was a powerhouse.
Don't forget Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, forget about that shit.
Oh, the manager ruined that series. He panicked. The manager was pulling pitchers out for the Yankees, and he panicked. When they won 2 games, and it was 3-2, when they were up 3-1, he blew the rest of the series. He pitched them way too much. I said, why didn't he just pull them and use the bullpen? Why you want to?
Everybody was so scared, son. Everybody was petrified. He said, "Damn, son."
You up?
Everybody was scared. I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with this dude?
The steroids, they kicked in. I told you the steroids kicked in.
Why this nigga on third base next to me? I don't like this nigga. Like, come on.
Steroids kicked in.
Yo, what's up with Golden State with Durant?
Which year though?
So I'm good.
Which year?
Durant, my dude, yo. What's up with Durant?
I mean, Golden State with Durant. You think they stood a chance, against that Jordan?
Which year?
Shit is any one of those years they won a championship.
2017 to 2018.
2017.
Which one you think?
I'm thinking 2017 Golden State team. They get swept. They might win 1 game. I think that's the best team they had, probably, besides the team, the 101 and 73-9. The one that won the 73-9 with that bench with Barbosa and all those guys, they would have lost. Every Golden State Warrior team would have lost.
Even with Durant,
they would have lost. Maybe 1 game they would have won, but they'd have been out of it.
Because Kevin Durant would be he would be mentally avid, man. And Ray Bond.
It's just that they got too many guys that could defend. Dennis Rodman would have frustrated the hell out of Kevin.
Destroyed Draymond Green.
So mad at Dennis Rodman, he would have been out of the game mentally.
That's what I'm saying.
So right, exactly. That I'm playing the whole game out in my head. Steph Curry wouldn't have been able to get up a shot. They got too many tall guys that would have stayed with him. They'd have played the whole game on the perimeter. The whole game would have been played on the perimeter.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't be able to, because they could switch. That's what the thing about the Bulls, like the Golden State Warriors, they could switch and have a guy pick up somebody and it wouldn't be a total mismatch.
Yeah.
So the Bulls, like, people underrated what Ron Harper brought to the Bulls. When they picked up Ron, that was so key because then Michael could rest. Michael don't have to go out and play defense as hard as he would because Ron was there for that. Absolutely. Ron knew exactly. He was a defensive savant. He was a vet. He knew everything he needed to do on the court. Absolutely. And he was somebody who had knee surgeries and everything. He was like, man, Ron ain't that fast and that, but he was always in the right position. There you go. So Ron was always in position, and it let Mike be free to move around a little bit and survey the zones and take over the lanes and get those steals. They were like Dobermans out there on defense. Yeah. Scotty, they were just picking up on the inexperience, but we got to tell the other side of the story. So, because the most of the young people, when they tell you about the 90 Bulls, they don't tell you the realization of what happened and created this whole new pool of genre of teams. When the Bulls came along, they were expansion teams. Right. That ruined the NBA. It did. At the time. When they brought in the Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, then they brought in the Toronto Raptors. They within a 4-year span, they brought 4 new teams in. Yeah. And what that did was thin out the league. And when they did is they broke up all the structure of all these teams that had been together for years. Mm-hmm. The Bulls were the only team that had been together and had that kind of unity to go all that way for the first 3 years. So the second 3, when Jordan came back, they basically just got veterans that played. And it was like, okay, Ron ain't never won none, but he a vet. Dennis Rodman is here. And, my buddy owes me big money. He told me Dennis Rodman didn't have the highest winning percentage in NBA history. And I said, he do. He told me it was Manu Ginobili. Ginobili. Hey, they win percentage is high.
I understand that, but not over Dennis.
They ain't lying. They ain't no lie. They up there.
I understand that, but not over Dennis.
They've been in the playoffs every year.
Ginobili had the highest. He had I think the second highest. So I think he got the second highest in NBA history. It wasn't. But Dennis is so far, nobody gonna beat Dennis' record. So that's out. Yeah. Dennis Rodman has an 81% win percentage. 81%. There's nobody who changed the game more than him. 81. The closest guy is Ginobili at 70. LeBron, Kobe on him in the 60s. Ain't nobody got a higher winning percentage than Dennis Rodman. Wherever he goes,
they win.
They win. Exactly.
That's it.
The worm.
He came to the Bulls, played there 3 years, won 3 championships. That alone tell you right there. I'm like, man, they can't touch that man. That man went to the Spurs for 2 years. David Robinson got MVP. They scored 74 points in the game. Mm-hmm. They had Spurs. That was the first time they ever been that far. Yeah. And then what happened? He's like, man, this dude, David Robinson, he's soft as hell. I can't play with this dude no more. He's too damn soft.
What about that Boston team? Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen.
08?
That's 2008.
Oh, they would have lost. Big three would have got crushed.
No. Him, I think Garnett and Rodman would go at it.
No, fuck that.
1-on-1 in a fighting match.
They beat Kobe though. Let's not forget they beat Kobe.
They were gonna go after each other. KD was
but see, you gotta realize y'all make it look like Kobe had an outstanding team. The Lakers were not an outstanding team. None of those championship teams he had was outstanding at all.
Lamar, Andrew Bynum.
Right, Andrew Bynum. He had trash on that.
Bynum was a beast, dog. Hey, Bynum was at one point. They traded Dwight Howard. They got rid of Dwight Howard for Bynum.
You know why they got rid of Dwight Howard?
Not again.
Dwight Howard had a back.
Exactly. Come on now.
Move.
You just said Dwight Coward. He said Dwight Coward.
He cried at the Laker game. One of the fans took off a jersey they spent $200-some on for Howard.
And Kobe
took the jersey off and threw it in his face.
Yeah, boy, Kobe called himself.
Yeah. And Kobe called himself. Like you saw him, bro.
Right, you saw him. That's why he was gone. He was up out of there.
You saw him.
Hold on. And on that Andrew Bynum tip, remember he went to the Philadelphia 76ers?
Mm-hmm.
Where did they go?
He was hurt. He never played a game with Philly. What you talking about? He didn't play with him.
Always hurt.
He's always hurt, bro.
He never played a game.
He's always hurt.
What about Detroit?
He was key in that series that they played when they won against Boston the second time. The first time against Boston, he was key because they needed another big man in there, somebody to battle on the boards. Because Pau Gasol, he couldn't just do it by himself. He needed another big man in there. Pau was too soft.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So that's why Bynum needed to be in there. He'd have been key to have another big body in there that could bang, get some rebounds, go up, and keep them honest.
Right.
But that team, oh my God, that team was like, I couldn't
believe he had to will them to the championship, man.
Will them, man. That team shouldn't even been in the room. I mean, good thing they got my man. If they didn't get my man Fish back, they would have never won.
Yeah,
they had to get D Fish back. Yeah. If D Fish did not, man, if D Fish didn't come back, because D Fish hit some big shots, even in those championship finals in that game 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
D Fish.
What about that Pistons team with Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince?
Now, there you go. Now you're talking. Now you're with some Frisco, baby. Now you're cooking. That's what we talking about. Yes, that team would have beat the 98 team.
Oh, yeah, the 98 team.
The 97 team. And I don't know about 96.
I don't know. I'll say 97 and 98, but
right. I don't know. 97, 98, the wheels was falling off. But they would have definitely gave a problem to that team, only because they would have had to contend with too much movement.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that they had a stable inside score, which that always give the Bulls problem. If you have a power forward with scoring game, that would disrupt the Chicago Bulls. If you can have, and that was Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace could start, he could score at the top of the key, and he could score in the paint. He could score and play that power forward position, and that will create problems for the Bulls because they got 2 guards that could score on the outside. So they got to stay honest. You can't play off of Rip, who's going to move around like Reggie Miller and run you through 1,000 picks. Then you got Chauncey, who's like the orchestrator. You got to stay with Chauncey.
And he got a burner too, man.
3 on you at any time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Then you got your Dennis Rodman player and Prince, who can block anything, got a wingspan.
Don't forget Lizzie Hunter. Don't forget Lizzie Hunter.
Yeah, defense.
Oh, yeah.
Lizzie Hunter.
Pocket Lindsey. Yeah, well, the thing about him is he's going to come off the pine, but ain't nobody worried about him. But the thing is, those other guys presented a problem for a matchup for the Bulls. They had nobody that can deal with Rasheed on that 96 team. Younger Rodman would have been there, but it's just too many other bodies. With Tayshaun and everybody off that bench, that would have been a problem for them.
Yeah.
Because they had the Bulls had too many slow white guys at that time. You know, they wasn't outstanding. You got Judge Bushler come in, they had Kerr come in, Kerr hit a couple of shots, but those slow dudes wouldn't have been able to keep up with Rip and the Pistons. They'd have been high flying dunk, Ben Wallace in there getting boards. It'd have been too hectic and too much work on the inside. They playing inside out, and the way they played defense, I'm telling you, man, that team would have beaten the Lakers. That Laker team that they beat a Laker team that had Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq, and Kobe Bryant. And they beat them relatively easy.
Games.
Yeah, because Carl was hurt and Gary was hurt. And,
they still gonna beat them. It doesn't matter what.
Still was gonna beat them.
Carl wasn't really hurt like that. The problem was the gameplay. Kobe Bryant was determined that he was gonna shoot 1,000 shots and willed them into the game. And they took Shaq out of the game. What they did was how they took Shaq out. They let Shaq score early in the first game. They let Shaq score. They was like, keep letting him score. Because this is going to affect the game because they're not going to keep going to Shaq. Kobe's ego is not going to let that happen. What the Pistons did was a strategy. Larry Brown did, and then how they were going to play the game. They played the 24-second shot clock. Instead of letting the Lakers, who everybody else played them, they let them bring the ball up and they start guarding them after they get past half court. They will play quarter court. As soon as they get the ball inbounds, Rip or Chauncey will be right there with Kobe. And they would guard him right then and there, making him have to work to get the ball past the half court line. whoever was the point guard, Fish or whatever, they all had to work to get past that half court line. Now, by the time they get to the half court line, they just made it. Now they're trying to swing the ball around. By the time Shaq got the ball, he's already been in position. He's now got to reposition himself. By the time he got it, he got like 3 on the clock, maybe 4 on the clock to try to work. He ain't got no time to work. So when he get the ball, he got to go straight up because that's it. They didn't spend too much time going past the half court line to get to this point. Now they got to start working from there. And that was a genius strategy that they did that nobody caught from the Lakers. All the coaches they had, nobody figured that part out. Because Kobe made up his mind, I got to shoot all these shots. And they kept confusing Kobe. And by throwing different looks at Kobe. First look they threw at him, the very first look they threw at Kobe Bryant was rip. Rip assignment was to guard Kobe. So he could do what he felt like he wanted to with Rip. They would switch, and as soon as they do a switch, he got Tayshaun Prince, and he could not find an angle to get his shot well over Tayshaun. He could not. And he's like trying to figure it out and adjust his shot. Normally he can, because like Sean Marion, he would adjust it over him, Stoudemire. He's like, I know how to shoot over tall guys, but Tayshaun for me is like a tower.
Yeah, he's really wide, defender.
Tower. I'm trying to angle my shot over him, and then I go back to Rip. You know, so
wide as a defender.
He tries to go around him and dribble, so where he can get away from Tayshaun, because he's like, if I got enough lane, me and Tayshaun, I can outrun him. But meanwhile, while I'm doing all this, everyone else is kind of standing around watching him. And then he's trying to get the ball to Shaq so the big man don't get mad, because Shaq was rolling early. So if Shaq is rolling early, this is going to cause arguments and confusion in the locker rooms. And sure enough, they were arguing every halftime in the locker room. Get me the ball. You're not Michael Jordan. Just give me the ball. I'm rolling. Right. So Shaq is rolling. They try to force the ball into Shaq, and then you start seeing how that worked. It was true. I watched that Pistons series. I said, man, they mentally broke them down. It's like they mentally. And that's why I said the matchup, the way it was, that's a terrible matchup for the Lakers. They had nobody else that could score on that Piston team in the post. All the players they had Karl Malone couldn't get away from nobody at that point. And Ben was locking it down in the post. They had Rasheed. They had nobody to guard Rasheed. It was over.
Yeah.
It was over. They made them play a half-court game and forced them to stay there.
Now, what about let me throw another team out. This might be a little interesting. What about the since I was watching it on NBA TV? What about the '82 Lakers going up against the '92 Bulls? What do you think?
About 82 LA team versus the '92 Bulls.
Yeah.
Woo!
Think about that with Jamal Wilkes and Bob.
Yeah, Wilkes on there. That'd have been a good team.
Yeah,
that'd have been a good game. It depends on how the style of play is, because Magic to me would have had a hard time getting into that offensive set to run against the '92 Bulls. They played a very good half-court game. They half-court defensive game, meaning that they're going to stop LA from running. It's what the Pistons did against the Lakers. When the Pistons played the Lakers didn't run.
No, the
Lakers couldn't run. They couldn't do that Showtime offense on them. You ain't going to be able to run that Showtime that you've been doing on the West Coast. They run, it's Showtime, man, the word there. All that stuff is dead when you play.
You got people that can actually run with you.
Against Detroit, that stuff is dead. And so they watched how the Pistons played them. And when they played them, it was an entirely different game. They said, okay, they know how to do it. You got to get up on Magic right away. Make it a half-court game. And Pippen and Jordan, they were like the two anchors. So in '92, that's how they played. They could cover east to west. And anything in that middle, Scotty could move around at that time. His back wasn't toe up.
Exactly. So north and south. Bill Cartwright had north and south.
Yeah. Exactly. So they would take Cartwright out of the whole element and just run that way. The only problem they would have had is the fact that, and when it got down to the middle, Kareem was in 82.
He couldn't be stopped.
They just dumped it to the big man whenever they needed a basket. And that hook shot in 82 was falling.
That's why I didn't say 87. I said 82 as opposed to 85.
Yeah, 82, that hook shot was falling. So it would have been a slowed down game, but when they went to the slowed down half court game, they just threw it into the big man and he would have towed him up.
Absolutely.
And back in 82, Magic wasn't shooting like that. Magic could score, but he wasn't gonna take any shots out there. It was like no 3-point shots. That's when he was tragic Magic back then. He would not shoot.
And that's how
he was Ben Simmons.
Right.
Except he could score on the inside.
Exactly. And that's how the 84 Boston Celtics had beat him.
Yeah, they backed off of him, and Magic went crazy on him then.
Right. I heard Magic threw that game. You know what I mean? I heard Magic was like, he threw that series.
Nah, he ain't throw no series, man. If you don't know anything about Magic Johnson, believe me, Magic is crazier than Michael.
Exactly.
When it comes to winning. This dude, he don't come from losing.
Yeah.
He don't like to lose. Now I'm telling you,
he was turning that ball over and shit. He was just throwing it away, doing some dumbass shit. Like somebody showed it to me, was like, man, what the fuck? You're like, damn, this motherfucker really was out here throwing the game. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Right.
Okay, who is this guy? Brian the GOAT.
Hey, what's up? But nah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I think the Warriors teams could beat the Bulls if they play in the current rules. Because the way I'm thinking about it is
in current rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Explain what.
I really thought about. I was watching a video and all that about how the NBA changed and all that. Like you couldn't trash talk, so you couldn't really get in people's heads like that. You know what I'm saying? So Rodman wouldn't be able to use his antics.
Rodman intimidation didn't have to do with talking. Rodman barely talked. Rodman mentally get in your head by bumping you, doing little things to irritate you under the rim.
But I mean, you couldn't do that. You can't do that like the current rules. You know what I'm saying? Because they could give you we could give you flagrants and all that.
In the current rules, they would still lose because the way the game they played then, it's the style of play. The Warriors still got to play they're gonna still shoot like 30-something thousand threes, which will put them in the hot water against a team like the Bulls because they're not going to shoot that many threes. Their game's going to be played close to the basket. Right. So the only thing that helps Golden State out is why they shooting 33s. The team around them is shooting 30 right along with them. So they just shoot a higher percentage. So it's like, who's the best at shooting threes? It's like, it's not really basketball. So imagine if you shooting all them threes and they ain't going in and the other team going in scoring. Now you down a lot. Now you down about 20. Now you got to try to force it.
Right.
You ain't gonna have that many wide open.
I see what you're saying.
Right. You ain't gonna have that many wide open shots with teams from the 80s. Those guys knew how to play basketball. They was coached. They were taught how to play real ball. They know the rules. It's a bunch of guys right now in the NBA who don't even know how to. They shouldn't even be in the league. They don't even know how to play.
Exactly.
So they don't know how to do pick and roll defense, none of this stuff, and they already in the pro.
Can y'all hear me?
They can't even guard the pick and roll because they spent maybe 1 year in college, and then they are here. Or if
they definitely got to win like 4 games. Like if they get cold, they could lose. So I see what you're saying about that. It's like a whole series and shit.
They have to be in a rhythm where they could just go off hitting threes. And back in those 90 games, you ain't getting that many wide open shots. You ain't getting that many wide open looks. Somebody might blow an assignment 1 or 2 times, and then that's gonna get fixed.
Exactly.
They ain't had that going for like the way you see in the NBA game now, especially.
And see, if I could add to that, imagine Michael Jordan playing in this era right now, man. That's a field day for him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody hand checking, and the lanes are not clogged in, so we can do whatever.
Yeah, he might get like 60, around like 60 points. So.
You know what I'm saying?
And the scary is he'll have 10 assists.
Along with that.
And you might even know it. You might not even know. You might not even know.
That's what's scary is he might get 10 assists behind all that.
Along with that, yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. What's up, Casino?
What's up?
No, what's up, fellas?
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's up?
All right, look. Any Laker team from the 80s, except for that 89 team and 91 team would have beat the Bulls. The 05 with Drexler Houston Rockets would have beat pretty much any 90 team Bulls, except for maybe it'd be hard to see them beating the 96 team. Shit. Any Pistons team would have beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bulls was tough. They was real tough, but folks got to understand. Until Pippen stopped being a sissy and started manning up around the 92 season, that's why they kept losing to Detroit so much. Because the bombs Mike had on his team, they were soft, especially Pippen. Yep. And then the league like they do with LeBron, they wanted Mike to shine and be on top, so they gave them a lot of momentum and gave them a lot of calls. But I ain't taking nothing from the Bulls. They was the real deal. But it's a lot of teams that could have beat them. Now the Mavericks of 11 didn't stand a chance. No Golden State team stood a chance because they not built like that to beat teams like that. But definitely, I take the 05, the 95 Rockets. I don't know about the 94 because they shouldn't even struggle with the Knicks. The 93 Knicks had a chance to beat the Bulls when they played them, but we all know the Knicks just was mentally weak. So but yeah, it was a lot of even the 86 Celtics, the 80
and I just said 86
Celtics,
yeah.
84 Celtics.
Yeah.
The 83 Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, Julius Erving, Moses Malone.
Mike and them would have beat them. Any 90s team.
Now that's interesting, man. The 83 76ers with Moses
Malone, Boys Cheeks, Bobby Jones.
That's interesting. Andrew Toney, man, Boston Strangler.
I think they would have had a hard time with the speed of the 90s Bulls. The speed of the 90s Bulls would have been too much for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to think about teams that would have gave them problems that they wouldn't have beat. And I'm talking about the Ralph Sampson, the Twin Towers, when the Rockies had Ralph Sampson and Elijah One. That team would have definitely beat the 91 Bulls. The 91 Bulls would have got.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because that team had too much size and they had speed at the guard level. And now I'm like, man, it's some teams that didn't win championships that would have beaten them.
Right. And size always gave the Bulls problems.
Yeah. If you had size, that would definitely wear them out. And Sampson on the defensive end, rebounds. Oh, yeah. They would have had
like a guard too, man.
Have to go inside. And once you get all that power on the inside, it's gonna disrupt them. And then they have to go in there and they got to contend with that. And if you got guards that can get to the second level, and that's where people don't understand. If you got a guard that can get by the guy he's guarding, now you got a problem. Because John Paxson, if you're looking at the John Paxson era with Paxson and Jordan with the two guards, if your point guard can't get past John Paxson, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It sure was.
That's why the Pistons had no problem. Isaiah could get by John Paxson in his sleep. So that was never going to be a problem there. And it was always going to put the Bulls defensively on their heels. So somebody was going to have to make up for the slack. Because I think get to the second level. When they played against the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Johnson blew the whole NBA Finals.
He sure did. I remember it like yesterday.
Yep. Kevin Johnson, that was the team that should have won. They should have beat the Bulls, but Michael Jordan was the X factor. They had too much experience at winning. And they had no experience in that scenario of what to do. They got a gift horse in the mouth, meaning a miracle thing happened. They had a player that came out and shined, Richard Dumas, in that series.
I remember Richard Dumas
came up and took over because Cedric Sabalas broke his leg and was out. And Cedric Sabalas was killing Scottie Pippen on the defensive end and on the offensive end when they were playing. He's not gonna pass you the ball. So when you get the ball to Cedric Sabalas, you know he's gonna do one thing: score. That's all he's going to do. So don't pass him the ball if you want it to come back to you. He is not giving it back to you.
Yeah.
But the thing is they discovered Richard Dumas. Richard Dumas had a higher jump. This dude could like jump out of the gym, stay in the air, pause, move the ball around, and score. And he was killing them. Killing the Bulls. He couldn't. Michael Jordan. They lost 2 out of 3 at home because they couldn't do nothing with Richard Dumas. He kept getting past the first level. Ron Harper couldn't check him. So Ron Harper, like, I can't check this guy. This guy jumps high and he gets to the spot quick, can hang in the air. Jordan had to check him and he couldn't.
You mean
Harper wasn't there yet? Harper wasn't there yet.
Talking about the 92
BJ Armstrong.
Yeah.
BJ Armstrong, because
he was sorry, Ron, that wasn't you. BJ was guarding him. Man, he was torching him. Oh God. It was the Richard Dumas show. And I'm watching, I said, this dude here, it was so bad that after the series, and they lost the series because of defensive liability, they let Michael Jordan go coast to coast. They were up like 5 or 4 with like 40 seconds to go. They let Michael Jordan dribble the ball from coast to coast, untouched, and get a layup.
Untouched, yeah. And
that's it. I said they lost. They lost. They were like, man, they still up 2. They lost, man. They lost. It's all over.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, how you gonna say that? I'm like, they just let Michael Jordan do that. They could at least make them run 24 seconds. They arguing. How do you lose track of Michael Jordan? 40 seconds to go in the NBA Finals. They thinking they already in Game 7. They already, we in Game 7. I'm like, they lost.
Yeah, I think the Bulls would have beat those Celtic teams like in the 80s. Those Celtic teams, like, because the perimeter defenders. I don't think Danny Ainge. Dennis Johnson was a good defender, but I don't think they could have hold Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan was giving them about 63 points in the playoffs when he was in his second year. Came back off the leg injury, gave Boston 63. You know what I mean? So I take Jordan over Boston.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Joe Cool.
Hey, what's up? Joe Cool back. Hey, so who do you think beat the 90 Bulls?
I'm still stuck on when you said Richard Dumas, man. If he ain't had that drug problem, Richard Dumas was good. He was good.
Yep. Yeah. He was so good that they brought him back after the drugs.
Yeah. Scottie Pippen gave Scottie Pippen problems. He gave Scottie Pippen problems.
Yeah, they brought him back. They let Cedric Sabalas go, and Charles Barkley cussed him out. He was like, man, you better do, because man, they was in the locker room and he came back. He apologized to the team. Like, because he had the substance abuse, and Charles Barkley got in his face, is like, you better, because we got rid of a good player, Cedric Sabalas, for you. Man, he got all in his face in the locker room. That made him go back to drugs. He was like, man, maybe what if I can't do it? Charles done got in my face. He put it back on the drugs again. I'm like, oh, man.
Wow.
I feel bad for him.
What about your Detroit Piston team that won that beat the Lakers?
All of them.
All of them beat the Bulls. That's already been solidified. We'd have beat every last one of them Bulls team.
Okay, I got one team.
All of them are the Pistons. They had 3 Pistons on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a team for the 91 Bulls. They didn't win a championship. But what about the 77 76ers, the 1977 Philadelphia 76ers? What you think?
The 1977 76ers. I had to remember the roster.
Okay, they had
Billy Cunningham, and
No.
Doug Collins,
Julius Erving, Doug Collins, World Be Free, Daryl Dawkins, George McGinnis. What you think about that? Who else was on that team? Joe Bryan was on that team. Steve Mix, Mike Dunleavy Sr., Henry Bibby.
That was dope.
They wouldn't have had anybody that could really contain Mike and Scotty. I think Mike and Scotty athleticism would have gave them problems. They would have had on the defensive end, Doug Jones trying to guard any one of them dudes. they'd have exploited them with their athleticism at the position. So, and then because they would have had to collapse on Mike.
Hello?
Yeah, it'd have been a tough fight, but I think in the trenches.
Hey, somebody need to turn the volume
Yeah,
down.
who's that? Duval? Duval, are you there? I guess not.
Yo, on that top 50 list, I was missing Adrian Dantley. I don't think anybody had Adrian Dantley on their list.
No, I ain't got AD in no top 50. I'll put Mark McGuire before I put AD.
Dr. Dunkerstein.
No, Adrian Dantley from the Pistons. I would have put Mark McGuire ahead of him because he is not better player than Mark McGuire. Like Marcus said, Mark McGuire said, player versus player. He
ain't no comparison. Player to player, ain't no comparison.
Player to player, he can't touch me. People don't know, man. Mark ain't no joke. Anybody in Chicago, man, ain't nobody more Chicago than dude.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm from Chicago too, so you know.
He played with Dallas too. He was killing at Dallas. He had like 26, 28 a game. And then when he came to the Pistons, he came off the bench for Rodman. He let Rodman take his spot.
Yeah, well, Rodman basically, you know, was like, man, that's why AD had to go. He was complaining about minutes. He didn't want Rodman to be taking all this time. He want to play. They like, look, we got to get AD up out of here. Exactly. He mad at Isaiah. Yep. He was mad in the video. You can see how crazy he was in the video. Yeah. In the dog on Pure Piston video, he's still mad.
Yeah, he was still mad. He like, man, Isaiah didn't like me, and I ain't like him either. So it's like, you know, let's trade Adrian Dantley. That's what he said.
Isaiah's team. It was never gonna be Adrian's team. He was a great player, man. For what he did, he was real good in the low post. He slowed the game down. He knew how to get his points. Like if you trust him and he get his touches. He know how to get his points. You know, he's systematically. He's a professional, man. He brought a professionalism there. But Joe Dumars had emerged. You know, it's like, look, Joe needs to shine.
Exactly.
And that's why they really won it in '89. It was the Joe Dumars show. Magic couldn't guard any of them, and they knew it. That's why Magic never guard Isaiah. Magic wasn't guarding Zeke at all. He had to guard Joe. Because Joe was somebody slow enough that he'll be able to keep up with. Somebody like Isaiah, he already know. We got to put Byron Scott or somebody on him because there's no way I can guard Isaiah.
Yeah,
Isaiah.
That's why that era was so great, man. Because it wasn't about individuals. It was about a team collective. They wanted to win as a team.
Absolutely, man.
It's like
exactly. That's all I said. Isaiah like, man, I could score 40 a night.
But we can't win a championship that way. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm not gonna win championships like that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's why the bum ain't gonna win one this year.
Jay Mariotti out here in Chicago. Jay Mariotti, he's been an a-hole his entire life. I never liked him anyway. And Isaiah, as soon as he got drafted, he told Isaiah, they asked him, you know, the press, they asked him, so what do you want to do? I want to win. You know, Isaiah said, I want to win championships. He's like, in Detroit? He laughed at him. Yeah. And that's like, dude, when has the Bulls have won anything, man? So he wanted to prove Jay Mariotti wrong. And that was it. The 96 Sonics. Oh, we saw what happened there.
That's what I said. 96 Sonics.
They got beat by one player, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, exactly. Shut all the down.
Shut Sean
You look
King
at
down.
You look at Brinkowski. He shut Brinkowski down quick. Brinkowski couldn't do nothing. He got him in the head mentally. Quick.
Adrian Dantley should have had a ring though. See, no, they got robbed that year when Kareem had got fouled by Lambert. They should have won that championship.
Right there.
Yeah.
That was our 3-peat right there.
Yep. Yeah, we all know that.
They ain't want Kareem. They ain't want Kareem to guard with a loss.
He did go out
last year. They know that.
He came back his last year, and we spanked them and got them up out of there.
Yeah.
That's how I knew. As soon as we playing the Lakers, I'm like, we playing the Lakers, it's over. We won. Because they ain't finna win a game. I knew that. I was like, Pistons finna run through them. They had Mark this time. That was it.
Exactly. Cino, I don't know if you've seen on NBA TV, they've been giving these film room episodes, you know, with Isaiah Thomas and Kevin McHale going over their series is their individual Eastern Conference Final series in 87 and 88.
Watching that, that's the kind of stuff I want to see.
Yeah, man, you got to check it out. Yeah, they're gonna end up having Kareem on there assessing the 85 NBA Finals against the Celtics too.
Oh, okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know what that means? Boycott Undisputed and boycott ESPN because they ain't talking about nothing. They ain't got nothing to say.
I record all the Undisputeds, man, and they really don't have nothing to talk about. When I saw Shannon Sharp, when somebody was like, man, y'all need to stop talking about the Cowboys and LeBron, man. And Shannon Sharp was like, man, and what should we talk? Then what we gonna talk about then? And I gave him some ideas. I said, well, let me give you some ideas, man.
In New York.
There are other players in there. Yeah. But they looking at who gonna get him the hot topic, trending topics. But I'm like, you cannot sit there and talk about Tom Brady every day. Cowboys. It's Tom Brady, Cowboys, and LeBron. That's the format. Skip ain't changing it. And Shannon looked like, look, Skip come up with this. They sit around and come up with what we gonna talk about. I just make my case. And that's the topic. And I'm like, my goodness. And they need sports bad just so they can fix them up. Because First Take is just, I mean, I don't watch First Take anyway, but that's just complete trash.
Yeah, they garbage, man. They ain't got nothing to talk about.
On that show. For real.
To me, it seems like it's a campaign. Jordan legacy and what he actually did back in the day to make LeBron look good.
Makes sense. And that's like, it's like, how are you even comparing the two when one couldn't even survive in the other one?
They done went so far as to say that the teams from the 90s wasn't that good. The competition was greater when LeBron played.
Exactly.
Sound like Scottie Pippen was all world and all of this, anything to make Mike look like he wasn't the Mike we watched.
Just because that's what the media does. It paints a narrative, and that's why this whole thing is coming out. They finna paint a narrative of making Michael Jordan look like a bully, like he bullied
That's
everybody.
right.
Yeah,
and they got everybody in the chair sitting there like they were abused. Sometimes it was so bad. Michael would just tell me, I'd be like, I wasn't even did the play wrong. Like,
man. YouTube stop buffering.
Better shut up. They're gonna be, look, Michael Jordan was mean.
Yeah, man.
My mic went out, but when y'all started talking about Mark Aguirre, I was trying to say that 87, 88 Dallas Mavericks team, they would have beat the Bulls of the night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Orlando Blackman.
Confidence, baby. Confidence, baby.
Hey, Parsino, what about the 95 Rockets?
Oh, yeah.
Rockets with Clyde.
Yeah, I named them.
He named them, but I don't think they would have won. The only reason why they lost, they would have lost to Penny and Shaq if Nick Anderson didn't go into a trap.
Missed them 4 free throws.
Them free throws, he could have recovered for the rest of his career. And that put the whole team out of whack. And they couldn't do Shaq guard the team, and they were lost. It would have been a tight series. They would have probably beat I said they would have beat the 98 team, probably.
Yeah.
The 98 team. 98, 97, but Clyde took advantage over the fact that, look, this is my last shot probably at an NBA championship. They went against a guy who had never won one, who went up against Jordan and Isaiah and got beat with the Blazers. And here's probably his last shot. He ain't finna let this go. And Drexler played out of his mind in that series. He averaged about 22, 24. Penny was like, man, I can't even match. I gotta guard this dude. This dude playing like his life on the line. I'm like, yeah.
That's Clyde. He ain't won one, so of course he's gonna play out of his mind.
Yep. So they had a bench. They had a team nucleus. Mario Ellie, that corner three. They had guys who knew their roles. So that's why I like Truck Tucker from Houston. That's Mario Ellie. I'm like, that's the Mario Ellie play. Yeah. That's what they run with him. Let him go to that corner, and that's what Mario Ellie used to do.
Basically,
the key to the Rockets or the 94 and 95 Rockets was Sam Cassell. Sam I Am. He's the reason they beat the Knicks straight up.
Sam I Am coming in hitting those shots was crucial because nobody was thinking for him. They didn't account for him. The Knicks could have won it. Man, the Knicks should have won the championship. They matched up better. Pat could guard Akeem, and Akeem could guard Pat. Both of them were gonna count each other out.
Like this.
Right. They played each other enough. They know each other's moves.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Right. It was a back and forth. Everything else was the X factor. But Houston beat them at the 3-point line. Kenny Smith had never hit that many threes before in his life. And they were like, man, what is going on here? And then in game 6, they relaxed because they thought they were going to game 7, and John Starks went off. John Starks went off, and what was supposed to be a blowout, and they was getting ready for game 7, turned out that the Knicks could win the championship in game 6. I called my cousin, and he was like, this game over. And everybody thought, like, we'll get him in game 7. I called him back. I'm like, John Starks then brought him back. Starks just start firing up threes. I'm like, they were down like 15. It's now a 2-point game.
What the Knicks did wrong. What the Knicks did wrong in that series in game 6, they tried to win the title in the first half, and they were burnt out. They went for the kill too early, and that come from coaching, and that come from being mentally weak.
Yeah, they
was just a mentally weak team.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
Just like the Lakers.
Once they lost game 5 in New York, Charles Smith went and dunked that ball. When Charles Smith went and dunked the ball, the Bulls. They made his life a living hell in New York. He's trying to lay it up. He keeps getting the rebound going up. He's like, dude, dunk the ball. Everybody in New York like, dunk it. What you doing? Next year, they made him cut all his hair bald. He had a high top fade. He thought he was a pretty boy. After that, they toughened him up. They cut your hair off. He was all cold, trying to be all tough in New York. He was dunking the ball. Yeah, that's right. You better dunk. Don't you let me no more this season. They was on him. Man, they was, somebody said that's a foul, bro. No matter if it was a foul, you gotta dunk that.
You gotta finish it.
Nobody trying to blow no right
like
there.
The 90 Bulls, the bully team.
Right, they like foul. You play it for a foul, man. You got the ball right there. You supposed to dunk that.
Just like LeBron missed that
like 4 shots at it. Oh my God, it was terrible. Once they blew that, they might as well just cancel the series right there. They showed up in Chicago. They was just all defeated already, getting off the bus. They just knew it was over. I'm like, man, they ain't had nobody to pick them up. They head all down. They played the game like, man, we can't win. Ain't no need of us trying. We lost at home. That was our shot. We blew the series. I'm like, dude, you win this game, you got home court advantage. You win this game, you get the home court back. You got game 7 at the crib. You just got to get back there. Y'all didn't even play. They quit the first quarter. I'm like, oh, God. This team here, I can't deal.
Oh, man.
Y'all lose 4 straight after going up 2-0.
Okay, let me see. What's another one?
Another one.
It's so many great teams, man.
I just saw the thing broadcast in the end.
What about that Sacramento team? Who the Lakers cheated? You know?
Hell no.
Yeah, Stojakovic and Chris Webber. That would have gave them a lot of problems, but I just think the experience level of closing the game out, I think they've been able to contend with them. Because I don't think no Laker team would have beat the Bulls. No Laker team with Shaq and Kobe on it would have beaten. Because I'm like, already.
No, of course not. Yeah,
they already beat him. Shaq talking. I'm like, Shaq, you act like you didn't play them.
Exactly.
You was on the Lakers since '97 and '98.
Exactly. Still getting beat by
y'all handedly. So I'm trying to figure out which team. What y'all had? What Rick Fox?
Devin George.
He gonna try to sleep with everybody.